What's going on, guys? Um, if you can see me, welcome to another live stream session with your boy Phrankleen. All right. Right. So if you can see me, hit the like button, hit the like button. So having a session today with Asy. So let's see. Let's see who is online. Just 1 second. I'm gonna bring her in shortly. Want to see who is online. If you can hear me, you can see me, hit the like button. And so we are going to be talking about how to become a millionaire in Nigeria's event management industry. Okay. So bear with me. Let me add.
Hello.
Right. Hello. Yeah. It's better now.
Okay.
Yeah. So how are you? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Very well. Very well.
Fantastic. So let's so you're prepared, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I'm prepared.
Okay. Right. Okay. So if you're joining us now, just hit the like button. And what's up, Kazim? What's going on, everybody? So I'll let you introduce yourself, and let's go. Go on.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Asy, actually. Asy Darlyn, also Asitonka Aggrey-Abah. I'm an event planner based in Nigeria. So I run 3003 events. That's why I'm here today. What else? I'm also a YouTuber. I think that
Right. Yeah.
introductions these days are very tricky. We don't know where to start from.
Yeah. So how did you say? I say AC. Is it AC? Right. That's how you pronounce it.
Asy, Asy,
AC.
yes,
Okay.
Asy.
Okay.
Yeah.
AC. That's fine. So AC came on my live stream the other day, and he had a lot of energy, so and then contributed positively to the topic. So I've been communicating with her to please come back and basically come and address the industry which she exists in with loads of experience. I'm sure a lot of you, hopefully some of the diasporans or people back home or anywhere else that are watching this that may be interested in the industry and stuff, you will be able to learn one or two things from Asy. So the floor is yours. Let's go.
All right. So, hi everyone. I think today's topic is very, very interesting. Of course, how to be a millionaire in the events industry. I've been in the events industry for like 5 years. I was 5 years in March, so I'll be talking from that experience. But first, let me just back it up. I didn't wake up and say, okay, I want to do events. I actually went to school to study medicine. And then I saw
Right.
a dead body. And I told my father, not again. I have missed 1 year. I'm not going to do medicine. So I did engineering. I'm a petroleum engineer by background. Um, out of
Nice.
uni, out of uni, there were no jobs. And basically I found out I didn't know anything. I couldn't do any skill. I was just about books. But I have younger ones, of course. So like every other Nigerian, we had to kick into our entrepreneurial spirit. That's how I
Yeah.
found event planning. Okay, so that's how I started. For today's topic, just going to be diving into the areas in which you can become a millionaire, because this industry is very, very broad, and there are lots
Right.
of areas where you can earn money. So let's
Okay.
just break it down into two. There's the high skilled area, and then there's the
Right.
soft skilled area. So when I say
Right.
high skilled, I say you need to be hands on for this high skilled area. Let's say you're a decorator, you're hands on. You're a caterer, you're hands on. You need to know how to cook. You can't just be a caterer. You're a photographer, that's high skilled area. And then the soft skilled areas are those that are going to building event centers. So you just build the event center to rent, or probably you're just renting chairs and tables. That's soft skill. You don't really need much like of a skill. You can even
Right.
employ people to do that. Yeah. So that's, and those people also earn millions. Those that okay have ushering agencies. That's, I would term that as soft skill too. bouncing, like bouncers and all of that. That's soft skill. They also earn money in that area. Okay, so let's dive into staffing. As an event planner, I think one of the major challenge, if you're going to come into any of these areas, do you have passion for it? You know, frankly, a lot of people right now, I don't even want to, I'll be calling numbers because I'm not talking from last year. I'm talking for as far back as this morning. There are people
Right.
that are earning, okay, I have paid, let me not use other, I have paid a photographer 1.2 million for an event. And
Wow.
I know that there are, yes, I know that there
Is
are
that for like a
lawyers.
wedding or?
Oh, yes, Chad and white. Yes. So what I have paid, I didn't, and that's minus his flight and flight for his people and all of that. Our first choice was 2 million, and we have clients that pay that much. So when people say, okay, millionaires in the event industry, we are not only saying the big ones. Someone like a photographer. In fact, Phrankleen, right now, photographers are the ones earning big bucks. The least I have paid is 600. Like, it's normal to pay 600. So when we talk about millionaires now, let's enter decor. You can't just do it. You can't, that's like a capital intensive area. That's because a
Mm,
lot of people want to come in, but they don't know where to come in. I
to
won't
come in for?
advise you,
Yeah.
yes, I won't advise you to come into the event industry to those high skilled areas if you do not have the talent.
Mm,
If you don't have the, even if I have friends that are into some of these sectors, but I can't really patronize them because the kind of clients that come to us are clients that want people that know what they are doing. So it's not enough to know that an area makes money. You also have to have the skill. There's no shortcut in events. This is people's wedding. Like, how will I even say it? Event planning, you know, this is their big day. So the
yes.
pressure to deliver, it's higher than every other sector. They say after doctors, fire service people, you know, and the rest, event planning is like the fifth most stressful job. It's so stressful. So I feel personally, look at the area now. Are you somebody that can deliver on the high skilled area? Like you have a skill that is among the high skilled area? Or are you someone that, okay, you have the money, but you're just waiting? So if I'm talking to my Shell boys, Total boys, oil and gas money, and probably you want to set your wife up, I would say, okay, do soft skilled. Give her money to go to China, pay and bring chairs in. I will tell you the kind of chairs we like right now because many people make the mistake of doing event planning without asking questions. We have been in the industry for so long, and somebody is opening a hall and you didn't ask any event planner. I think for business sake, you will call event planners and say, okay, this is my competition. What is the person doing wrong? Where can I deliver better? You know, I see a lot of halls cropping, and it's when they make the mistake that they wake up and find event planners. So if you have, I don't even know the figure to say, but if you have serious money, I will say okay, and you don't have the skill, I will say go for the soft skilled areas. Let's say you want to go into renting of chairs. There's a lot of money there. There's a lot of
Yeah.
money in event halls. You don't need to build. Right now, there are these Korean people that are delivering marquees, like those tents. You just get the land
Right.
and then you put the tents. Okay, so now you've gotten either ways, whether you're a photographer, whether you want to come from either angle. The next thing you
Right.
have to start thinking about is your staffing. This part, this part is so tricky because I know lots of people that change staff every 3 months because there are people that come to you. You know how Nigerians are. Nobody really has the patience to work long term anymore. So some people
Yeah.
just want to come and pry, get some wisdom and start their business, get some knowledge and start their business. And it's not really good for the industry because a lot of people keep changing and changing and changing. So if I would advise you how to have a good staff, the first thing I would say is try to be upfront with the person. Don't really look at CVs. I have people that apply that I say, okay, I'm a PhD holder, I'm a master's degree holder.
Oh, your
And call me.
audio is kind of like breaking up. Don't know what's going on.
Can you hear me? You're breaking up.
Yeah, the audio was getting a bit muffled.
Oh. Can you hear me?
The video. Yeah, I can hear you now. It's better. Go on, please.
Oh, okay. So I have people that come in. One way you should check for your staff. People come in and say, I have worked for this event planner. this event planner, that event planner. And I'm like, if you've worked for all my bosses, all my madams, the people I look up, what are you doing here? I feel a lot of people just want to use you as part of their CV. You know, you have to be very careful. People just want to use it like as part of one of the others I worked with. Okay, I also worked with her, I also worked with her. And those people won't stay long. So for me, I would say most of my staff were so randomly selected, frankly. You will not even believe it. Like, I basically asked my staff to get other people because of accountability. I can ask a staff that's already working with me to get somebody because it's easier that way. I just say, okay, get somebody that wants to work. And you know that backstory of how I work and all. I believe that my staff has explained to me that.
1 second. Sorry to interrupt you. The audio is like really muffled. Are you using a mic or I don't know? Or is it? Yeah, it's not clear. Yeah.
No, I'm not using a mic.
Maybe it's the connection.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. It's just it was clear for a bit. Yeah.
I can't hear you clearly because your audio is muffled, but I think it's the connection. Oh, MTN. Oh, sorry. Hope you can hear me better. Should I move location?
Yeah, it's the audio,
man. Can you hear me now?
Okay, let me, you know what, do it this way. Let me come off and come back on like immediately. Let's see if it works better.
Okay, let me leave and come back on now.
Yeah. Right. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? She's going to come back on now. It's the connection is a bit bad. Can you hear me? What's going on, people? Can you hear me? Right. Okay. So if you've just joined, hang in there, share the video, please. So she's going to come back on in a moment. Just bear with me. I think it might be with the connection back home in Nigeria. So Asy is basically a well-experienced lady in the event management and planning industry with a very, very good track record. So like I said, if you've just joined the show, she was on my show a while back, not too long ago, about a couple of weeks ago, and I really love the energy. So I thought to bring her back and to come and share her knowledge, with us. So take your pen and paper and take notes. All right. So especially if you are interested in the industry, there's a lot to learn. Hold on. Welcome back.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, can you hear me? I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so we're talking about staffing, and the reason I just want to run through all these points is because I would prefer more questions. There's so much to share, so I prefer people to also ask questions so I know where exactly they need help with. So if you're going to get a good staff, it's best to get from the point of accountability. You can go something as random as the youths in your church. I've gotten some youths from Winners, I think a particular church. They were working with me for a period of 6 months. They did very, very well. And
right.
You as a boss, try not to cheat people. Frankly, we have gone through all sorts of fantastic vendors. Being in this industry, people have a lot of stories. Bosses trying to cheat, trying to, talk down on their staff, not even in a good way, like really talk down on their staff. So most times
not paying them properly.
Not paying them properly. So I've heard of a situation whereby they basically gathered and all of them quit when there was a major event. So you can imagine it was a mess for the planner. It was a mess. So most times they can gang up on you if you do that. So try to also, if you run a very big firm and you see top good people, if you can call them in to director level, Nigerians, we don't really talk about that. Director level, let's say somebody has integrity, this person has stayed with you. You say, I don't really want you to go. I want you to have a part of the business. We are 100%ers. We never offer a part of our business because we are scared. I understand that you're scared, but also the staff is also scared. Like tomorrow you might kick me away, and if you can get to that point and say, okay, if you get a job, if you get this job, there's certain incentive, there's certain this, there's certain that, you know, you just might keep them longer because people are always quick to go to their next. Many people want to be entrepreneurs. Nobody wants to be the staff. Everybody wants to be the boss, but they don't understand that there's a lot. There's a lot behind being the boss. There's a lot. Me too. I want to sit back and relax and have somebody pay my salary. You know, at some point, you don't want to do the papers. You don't want to do all those tax and everything. So I feel when it comes to staff, it's a major issue. If you get it wrong in your staffing, a lot of businesses have closed down. Some staff have absconded with like people's money. Some people have basically split the clientele. You know, there's a way you can have a good staff and a good heart, and your staff just goes and carries your clientele to their own business. It's a lot has been happening. So that's why I say staffing is key, and staffing is different. The way a decorator is going to get staff is different from the way a photographer is going to get staff. Recently, a photographer announced that he sent, you know, photography equipment. Those cameras are very expensive. He gave one of his boys some cameras and lenses to go and assist a certain photographer, and he ran away. So now he has run away with you can imagine. You can imagine. So there's a lot. There's a lot that has integrity is paramount. Never joke with integrity. Never. Even if it means telling them to get.
I want you to run through, you know, all your points. Then we'll ask you questions. That's why I'm not disturbing you yet, and I'm sure people have.
Okay. I think that works better. So the next point will be the clients. You're even complaining about staff. Frankly, we've had fantastic clients. We've had fantastic. I always teach, you know, because I also train event planners, and I tell them, I say, the moment those doors open, you do not know who is coming through. You do not know who is coming through. I have had some of the worst experiences in terms of wedding guests. The worst. Not just the clients, the guests. Some have literally wanted to beat up staff. Some have hooked up shirts. Like, wedding planning is special. So I think if you do not have patience, if you're somebody, you're quick-tempered, this might not be the best career path for you. It doesn't mean you are not right, because event planning is basically about somebody having somebody they can throw under the bus. So if something goes wrong, nobody wants to take responsibility. It's the planner. I mean, that's your job, to be thrown under the bus for whoever messes up. So you have to be ready, not just to defend yourself and say, oh, I didn't do that, but just to say sorry, and all of that. So managing clients is a big deal. Most times, there's something I did. I had a very difficult job recently, and I know my staff. Some of them are good, like they're very calm, and then there's some that they're also good, but they just have very short temper. So I basically sent those ones outside because they are good with managing crowd. And then the ones that have better temper, I sent them inside because they even if you're insulting them, they basically will just smile and say sorry. Good. So most times when you want to manage the clients, it's not enough to just say, okay, everybody has to be very nice in your staffing. You also need those people that are firm, because you can have lots of people that were not invited and all. Many things can happen in your events. You also need people that are very firm. So balance your staffing as much as possible. Then when it comes to money, which is my next point, if you now ask me, okay, you've said all of these, which ones are more capital intensive and which ones I don't really have much money, I want to come into the industry. I'll say for capital, like I was saying, like those starting event centers, capital intensive. If you want to do decor, it is so capital intensive because next year there's something new. So if you're not evolving as a decorator, we cannot use you. At some point, you will fall off. As a photographer, photography is capital intensive because maybe there's a new lens and all of that, but not so much. Not so much, because the moment you get the basic bodies, you can change the lens. The next one that I would say that is capital intensive is catering. Why I say catering is capital intensive, it's not just because you can cook. Right now, we are paying for presentation. I'm not really a food person, but most times I can tell you There are clients that I have told, okay, this food is 1,000, and they're like, it's too cheap. I can't pay. You know, and a lot of people say, oh, I want to price cheap so that people can patronize me. But the truth is, some people don't want to buy your food if it's too cheap. it's it's just life. So they go like, why is her food too cheap? I'm sure she doesn't know how to cook. I'm sure she's using fake ingredients or something. So most times it's like that. And also how you present your dishes. Some people like gold cutleries and all of that. That's money. And there's a lot of loss. When I say capital intensive, it means you as a caterer, you can carry 1,000 cutleries to an event and come back with only 600. There's a lot of loss that comes into that.
Wow.
There's a lot of loss. Yes. Because some guests, Phrankleen, they think those cutleries are souvenirs. They put it in their bag. I'm not talking of people that are illiterate. I'm talking of people that are well-read. They might just like it and they pick it. It's sad. Another person that suffers a whole lot of loss are decorators, because we use a lot of glass and nice things. People break it, people take it. So there's a lot of loss in that business. That makes it capital intensive, because you always, like, the moment you're doing inventory, you suffer a lot of loss. So, but for the ones that are affordable, let's say you don't have so much money and you want to start. The first one is event planning itself, you know, because we train and immediately you're done with training, like, you can start if you have a good phone, a good laptop. For the past 1 year plus, I've not been using my laptop like laptop. The only time I use a laptop is maybe when I need to monetize inside the YouTube videos. I use only phone. I just decided to stretch myself and say how much, because I needed to teach it in a class, and I said, how much can I offer with just phone? So if you're somebody that you have your good notes and you have your phone, you have your Excel sheets on your phone, you can start as an event planner. If it's ushering too doesn't take so much money. Or if you learn to be a coordinator, you don't need so much money. But you know that these affordable options, it takes a while for you to make so much money. Let's say the millionaire part, it takes a long time.
Because you have to build your reputation, track
exactly.
record. You can't just make money overnight.
You need to keep climbing. Patience. You have to be patient for you to grow that much. So that's how you look at it. Because when you look at the money you're spending, you want to also look at your return on investment. If I'm going to put 1 million, when is it coming back? Some of them will not come back now. you wait a while. But some, like event planning, you didn't really spend so much. And if God helps you and probably you have like good jobs, and those good jobs give you good reviews, because we make money based on referrals. Like how many times will I do an advert? Do you understand? If somebody doesn't want to get married, so why are you advertising? The only way you get another client is, oh, I did my wedding with Asy and she was fantastic and I think you should. You get a client, and the mother likes you and the mother has 4 other children. Those are weddings. You know, that's how you just grow. But if you're somebody like a photographer, like right now, you know, the thing with Nigerians, we are, how will I put it? They happen ministries. Right now, there's a visual tone we are looking at. People like warm photographs. So if you're a photographer, you have to always be flowing with the times. Don't just sit back and not evolve. Many people call me and say, oh, Asy, you've stopped patronizing me. You've stopped calling my company. I'm like, I'm not the one patronizing you. These are clients that are patronizing. So if I send your page to them and they're not impressed by your level of growth, they're not going to call you. If you know that something is on board, try to get to that point. Try to push yourself to get to that point. Whether you're a caterer and you know that how people want to eat, what are the funny things they now eat? Like anything they need to eat, go and learn it and come and start cooking it. So that's the same thing with cake. Let me even say a fun story. I called a couple of cake people, because a lot of people think there's no money in baking cakes. There's so much money. And I wanted to get a quote for my Lagos wedding. And the first person was 750. Next, I was 650. There was nothing lower than 550. And this is not all cake. This is, some are cake and some are dummies. The only thing that is cake, there are 3 steps. 3. So the bride was laughing and like, are cakes this expensive now? And I said, well, it's Lagos. There are many areas where another thing you need to look at, even if you're starting event planning, you cannot charge that cake in Port Harcourt, but you can in Lagos if you get to a certain point of integrity. If your name gets to a certain point, they will pay you. They will pay you. Because if you charge less than 750, 600, or whatever that price point is, some people do not feel comfortable having you in their events. Why this is funny is because those millionaires, billionaires, they want you to be comfortable around calling a certain amount of money. If you say 150, they are not going to call you, which is odd, but it's true. So as an event person, if you're coming into the event space, try to grow your integrity. If you grow your integrity, if you grow your clientele, you get to a point where people feel comfortable paying whatever you call because they are paying
Yeah.
for your brand. They are not paying for just your service. They are paying for your name. Sometimes they don't even eat, they don't like cake, but because you have grown so big and they want to be associated with you, they pay you. I know personally that there are people that call me that practically maybe they have finished planning their wedding themselves, but they really want that is Asy that planned my wedding. People want that. So they will be Asy, please come and plan my wedding. And I'm like, you're almost done. They said, no, you still come in. The point of it. When you get to a point of in your business and people want to be associated with you, no matter your price point, then you're beginning to succeed, in the event space. The
Yeah.
next point I have here is the pros and cons. The biggest
Yeah.
con is COVID-19. Like nothing beats COVID-19. Nothing will ever beat COVID-19. Frankly, this year we lost, I don't even know how much we lost. I lost 7 weddings at a go, cancelled. The bride is in Canada, the groom is in UK, the mother is in Australia. The cancelled, and like it was so stressful. We had brides crying.
So when you say cancelled, did you have to, did you have to return deposits and stuff as well?
I think just one. Me personally, frankly, my own contract has no refund, but that's funny, sure. Because you don't get to pay everything. But I think it's just one that was cancelled like totally. The rest were cancelled as per dates. They don't have a new date, but then we have 3 that have fixed for next year. So just one decided to move the entire event to Canada because both of them are in Canada. And I think we had to do some refunds. But like I said, they didn't get total refunds because someone like the decorator was paying part, the hall was paying part. So you would lose a lot of money when it comes to cancellations. You lose a lot of money because they have bought things, they have used the money. Most times as service providers, when this money comes in, they use it to sort other things. They use it to sort other things. So we're able to still, for that particular one, we have still not finished paying. Yes, we have still not finished paying because someone like the decorator is still yet to break even. The DJ, there are still people that have not yet broken even in their normal business before they even start thinking of refund. So it really affected us. This is the biggest lesson. Hotels closed down till now. There's a particular hall I'm going to be using in January. They are refusing to collect money because they don't even know. So there's COVID-19 was just the biggest lesson. Why? Because event planning is about gathering people. So
Yeah.
if the gathering has been cancelled, what is events? And Nigerian weddings, frankly, we are not people that do 50 people. African parents had the hardest time believing that 50 people. How? So I have a lot of weddings that the couple wants to go ahead with 50. And then the father is like, why? Are you pregnant? My daughter will marry, it's only 50. Never. Next year. Move it to next year, And it's funny because you can't do anything about it. So first con will be that most of us had all our eggs in events. So even if you're not only an event planner, if I do event planning, decoration, rentals, this COVID affected those 3 businesses because they're in one industry. Okay, so that was a big con. The pro is that Africans are people that like to celebrate every single time, especially if you're going to set up in Lagos. So you can be booked like back to back. You can always have a job. In fact, you get to a point where you're turning down jobs if you're that good. So I feel that's one of the pros of event planning. There's always something to do. You can even attach yourself to a vendor, an existing vendor, and you will be making money. So that's a big pro. So my last point would be the tips for those that are interested. Passion is not enough. I know a lot of people will tell you, oh, I have passion for it. Passion is not enough. I'm serious. It's good to have passion. I won't say it's passion that brought me into event planning, because that would be a lie. I did event planning because I didn't know what else to do. And I was somebody that I was into politics. I was always doing SUG. I would gather people, you know. I did Miss Unipots, whatever, when I was in school. I did engineering, whatever. So I felt, when my mother asked me the question, Asy, what can you do? That's when I knew that I couldn't do anything. I didn't have any skill whatsoever. The only thing I had in my head was petroleum engineering, drilling, well completion. I was just a mess. So, you know, it's the downside of those of us that are into academics, having to think of a skill that we can do. So when I found out, okay, I can actually gather people and I know how to organize, I started calling a couple of friends. So at that first point, I wouldn't say it was passion. It was actually money. I needed a job. I have younger ones. It would be silly for me to sit down and wait for the oil industry to wake up. I mean, I had a 4 point in school. I was one of the people that I can count how many times I slept in my bed. I was always reading all night. So the last thing I wanted to do was to sit back and have no job. It didn't make sense.
Yep.
So I would say I entered event planning for the money. A lot of people don't like to admit first, but it's money. I needed something that at least I would be able to take care of myself and send some money home. Then passion came, because you need to be somebody that is so serious before people can pay that money you're looking for. Okay, so
Absolutely.
if you don't get to that point, something might be the driving force, but money should not keep you all the way. It's what brought you in. Okay, that's fine, but then put passion, put hard work. And the last point I would even say is have a good business management sense. Treat this as a business. You don't look at it as something that how will I say, you're just doing part-time, or you say, oh, simply because I'm waiting for a 9 to 5, I'm not going to take it too serious. There are many people that have stopped calling because they didn't take their business serious. Some clients will call you and you don't get back to them within a certain number of days. Why? Because we have a lot of people in this industry that have 9 to 5. They work in Total, they work in Shell, they work in Chevron. Not everybody in the event industry is just into events. Most of them have 9 to 5. So you can employ somebody, get a youth corper. If you're going to pay a youth corper 30,000, in addition to whatever they are earning from the government, they will pick up the phone,
Yeah.
especially people that are good with people management. A lot of vendors have lost money because I call them, and not all the clients are patient. They say, oh, Asy, call this photographer, call this photographer. I call and call, you're not picking. I send you mail, you're not answering. I send you WhatsApp, you say no WhatsApp, no DM, no message. Like, why? So the
That's terrible.
client might be like, forget that person, let's go to the next. So good business management. You might be very good, you know your job and everything, but you miss money. I can call names, they know themselves. A lot of them, in fact, after the event, I had to call and say, guy, what happened that day? And they'll say, oh, sorry, that day I was out, and excuses. But I say, you just lost money. Don't look at it like, oh, that money is small, others will come. For if you have good business management, you won't lose any job. You will try to, be as involved as you can for every single job. Then the
And
last and final point.
try to close on that deal.
Yes, close on. I mean, do your best. If finally they said they don't want to go with your company, they actually have how would I say, at the back of their mind, they have it that when I contacted Asy, she got back to me within certain working days and she was friendly. I've had a job, like there's a job that's happening. Will I say, in fact, the wedding was yesterday. The wedding was yesterday. And when they called me for a particular location and the place was flooded. And then I later reached back to her and she was like, oh, Asy, sorry, I couldn't get back to you. We went ahead with the first planner we're thinking of. And I'm like, oh, that's fine. What I left there is not You didn't call me, but I'm sincerely happy for you. But you know that feeling of you reach back to the person, congrats on your marriage, wishing you happy married life. You leave something of a good feedback. Tomorrow, next tomorrow, they have people that will get married. They'll be like, oh, when I talked to Asy, I liked how she responded. Or because of how nice you are, they feel like they owe you an event. So they too become your marketers and like, I need to find her a job. I feel like I disappointed her. That kind of thing. It always helps to have good public relations. So any questions people have now, it's good for me. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Right. So you've covered everything, right? Have you
I
covered
can hear
all of
you.
your bullet points? I can hear you loud and clear. I'm asking
Oh,
if
yes,
you
yes.
have covered all your bullet
Oh,
points.
yes. Bullet points have been.
Right.
Exactly.
So
Yes,
if
I
you've
have.
got if you've got questions for Asy, put your questions up now so I can select from them. Um, I've got a couple of questions for you myself, if that's okay.
Okay. No problem. Sure.
Yeah. So sorry, forgive us. The connection is a bit bad, but you were saying earlier that there are several means or entrance into the event management, and I understand even here in the UK, right, people that do decorations and all that, because you have to buy a lot of things, you have to stay on top of them and stuff. But the one that I really want to ask you is, how do you manage your staffs? Because like what you were saying earlier, particularly with the issue of theft and reliability, because event planning or management involves having a lot of people on ground wanting them to do
Exactly.
XYZ for you. You are like the project manager, right? So
Exactly.
how do you manage them successfully so that they don't end up damaging your brand, dealing with theft and sabotage you? You talked about so they come under false pretense, and then they might try to steal your how do I say, your customer details or portfolio and then disappear. How do you deal with that?
Okay, so personally, for me, I have more ad hoc staff because I will tell you from the get go, I will advise everybody, please know your business. If you do not know the business, you would have issues with staff. It's like you don't know how to make hair, but you decided to open a salon. It doesn't make sense. You need to know the business. You need to know the business so much that they know that you know the business. Because when you're bringing them in, you're not bringing them into a position and you're kind of leaving it to them totally. I do not do that. I don't think it's good, yes, that I cannot fully delegate. But I think for my business, I centered my business into having this more of a personal touch. So I cannot leave, there are jobs I have practically rejected because I cannot be on ground, or I cannot have somebody I trust on ground. I have good staff, yes, but the brand itself is more important than one job. So my husband goes like, oh, send the staff, oh, send the staff. I say, no, it's better I tell you I can't come and I'm at home than to send somebody and the person messes up.
Yeah.
It's not their vision. It's not their business. They can just be rude to somebody's mom and it ends your job. It ends your business. Just rudeness. Sometimes they have a short fuse, or they sigh, or they chew gum, or they just act unruly. So that can just, when it comes to you having those staff, I would say, first of all, be down to earth. Most vendors, even if you're a big woman or whatever, come down to earth. Relate to them like human beings. I was doing an event, and some staff came in from Lagos for a particular, like, they are decorators. This was a big job. So they were doing the event and we got food and we were all eating. So one of the decorators, that's the staff of the main decorator, went to my business page, saw my face, looked up to me and says, sorry, ma, are you this person? I say, yes. Are you the owner of I say, yes. And you're sitting here and eating with us? I say, yes. Be like, oh my God. this will never have happened in XYZ place, you know? And I get to that point, I'm like, why? They say, the moment you come in, you're supposed to have passed us, then your PA will come and look at us and go like, what are you people doing here? I need to know what you're doing. No, now, no. You
Yeah.
know, yes. If you do that, people, they will mess you up. I'm serious. They will if you're not relatable. Most times I talk with the owners of these companies and they're like, oh, Asy, I will come. I say, yes, I need to also meet your staff. If I meet your staff and I'm like, Oga Peter, how are you? How is your wife? You know that last time you told me she has given birth. How is the baby? You become more of a human being. They will not mess with you. You're somebody that's, are you people hungry? Or yeah, take 5,000 now, just buy one or two things. You know, you reach them at that level. It's not their salary. You're just being relatable. Sometimes you're leaving the place. You're the only person in your car. Carry your staff. They're not going to stay in your car. What's that? No, enter. Let me drop you off somewhere. When you do that, I'm not saying that this is foolproof because people are still going to be wicked. But at least you have done your part. At least you have done and foolproof your business. When I say foolproof your business, don't just get, when it comes to delegating to that top point, tell them to bring referees.
I was going to say that.
Sign a contract. Nigerians don't really sign contracts. Like when I started, my contract was very small. But with every bad job, it increases. It keeps increasing. Right now, my contract is like 3 pages. I'm not even joking. I'm like, read everything because it's a serious thing. I did a job. I wasn't going for that one. And my staff were sent to a hotel that was very shanky. And I'm like, Simply because I put accommodation, I had to edit my contract and put a very good accommodation. It's contract. When something else happens, I'm like, okay, even if I get injured in like your wedding in my father's house, if I get injured, you're going to cover it because it's in the you know, those kind of little steps. But if you're just starting, you can't start with 3 pages. No, they are going to run away. You can't start with 3 pages. You just tell them how you want to be paid, what you're offering, their name and signature. That is simple. How you want to be paid. I'm getting 50% upfront and you're paying me 50% before the event. Or this and this. You put it there. Very simple, 1 page. But for us that have been in the business and we have seen different things, as you grow, you can edit your contract. Always have a contract for your staff. Have a contract. Nobody is above contract. Have a contract for them, especially when they're not ad hoc. I didn't really have much for my staff because, like I said, my recruitment was very peculiar. I just basically tell my staff to get another person. And I tell you, this is how I work. And since it's kind of ad hoc, I call you when I have a job and pay you for the job and you go. It was really simple. Accountability rested on the person that brought you. So if the person is messing up, I go straight to the person that brought you and I'm like, why is that girl messing up? Go and put her in check. If I shout on her, she's going to disappear. You know how I shout, so talk to her. And that's all. It just helps. Because when the event gets to a point where there's a lot of heat, I'm not really like this. So I scream. Like, I might not verbally scream. Like, my eyes are screaming and my staff, they know what to do. Sometimes it's different when you don't know the kind of person you're recruiting. So that person, after 2 jobs, can run away. If you bring somebody that is a thief, basically, they might have good referees, but they're always quick to pick something.
They've got light fingers.
Light fingers, and we see them because you go to an event and maybe there are drinks left behind or something, and they're always quick to take for themselves.
Yeah, that's quite common. That's quite common.
It's a sign. Because I tell my staff, I say, see, I know that sometimes you want to eat. It's actually something that I've used to sack people. When you go to an event, I say, if this pen is the only thing they give us, and we are 10, you cannot take it. It is not up to 10. Nobody is going to touch it. But if it is up to 10, that's when you say, okay, I'm taking and I'm taking for every other person. I have sacked up to 3 staffs because of that. Maybe they are sharing a souvenir and you're taking for only yourself. The reason this is important is because when somebody is walking in front with me, I want the person to remember that if there's ever a souvenir somebody is going to take for me. But if I run a company that is every man for himself and you're there working, you might leave the bride and groom and hustle souvenir, which is not what I want. I don't want that. So if there's ever going to be something for you, tell your staff like I don't buy for one person. So you're not missing anything by focusing on the job you're supposed to do. You're not
Right.
missing anything, because if you're always trying to look back to see, oh, are they going to serve food, is food passing me, it's just a bad way. So I've sacked staff that I found that they carry drinks for themselves. They carry, when you're becoming selfish, it gets to a point that you start taking things that are not just food. You start taking other things. So that's
So
something to look out for.
even when it's clearly stated in their mode of practice, you as the boss have let them know that we don't do this, we don't do that. They still get out of their way to go and take stuff.
Exactly. Exactly. They might come to the event with maybe their sister or their friend, and then you're passing that person and you see that the person keeps going to a certain table to drop drinks, and that person is dropping into their bags. You're not serving the entire crowd. You're serving this particular table because you have somebody there that's speaking things for you. Planner, you just have to be very vigilant.
So
Yes,
I went
at the
to I went I'll tell you this. It was back in 2016. So I was in Nigeria for a friend's wedding, right? So when this the reception, big, very nice, somewhere in Lagos, I think Ikeja or something. So these ladies, these people that serve the tables and all that stuff. And then there was a table that was adjacent to where we sat, and this guy and his crew just got that young lady that was serving the table. I saw this myself. This nobody told me this. I was shocked because I had never seen that before. So they just beckoned to her, and I saw the dude. They gave her 4,000 naira, and she took the money. The guy just kind of whispered into her ears, gave her 1,000 naira, four of it, 4,000 naira. She kind of put it into stuff like that. And from then on, it was plate after plate and everything for that table. She would go and serve other tables, and they even had other people join them, and the table was packed. And I was like, wow. And there were other tables where people were like,
wow.
yeah. And I was telling my friend, like, really? So my friend who lives in Lagos said, Nigeria said, that like people do this a lot. And like what you were saying, the woman who's like the caterer, if you step outside of the hall, the corner where they were set up, it was all busy. They were rolling out food. She was coordinating. So there is no way for that woman to have been inside
She
the
would have
hall
known.
to see what was happening. And I was like, wow. And this lady kept on bringing food, and we saw people pouring it into the bag and taking all the Remy Mappings and Jack Daniels.
It happens a lot, Franklin. It happens, I would say the main culprits are Lagos people. I'm not even going to kid you. Lagos people, if they're here, they should know that they're anytime we talk in the event industry, we are gossiping about you guys because, man, Franklin is a lot. In Lagos, if I'm doing a Lagos wedding, we don't serve canned drinks. We serve bottled drinks because it is more difficult to steal bottle, but they still steal it. Do you understand? It's not because they prefer bottle. Most times, just check Lagos weddings. They serve bottle and they endeavor to open it in front of you. That way, you don't steal it with the cork and just go away. If it's Port Harcourt, because people in the South have pride, even those that don't have money have a lot of pride. So they hardly want to take anything and they're like, please, we drop the drinks on the table. We never do it in Lagos. In Port Harcourt, we'll drop all your drinks on the table. When you come in, we know that you're going to take what's yours and leave the rest. Sometimes they stand up and you can find maybe water, coke, and some things that are untouched. Never in Lagos. Do not even try it. Do not ever be clean out. And it has been how would I say, for the catering, I noticed it for my last 2 Lagos weddings. I think this is not the caterer's fault now. It's the fault of that particular girl. You understand?
Yeah,
The caterer is just very trusting. She has people there. And then the girl is thinking, oh, this 4,000 naira. After all, the food is not my own. The madam has food and all of that. I'm just going to keep bringing. But you see, sometimes if it's not even you and it's another person on your table that notices it, that caterer is going to be blacklisted because that person will be like, please, oh, there was one caterer that served. I didn't like it. Her people were taking bribe. They don't know it's not her. And this is where having a good staff is important. That girl has spoiled that lady's business for 4,000 naira. For 4,000 naira, nobody's thinking of the food and how it tasted good. People are basically, because I have people that are going to be calling and telling me, see, I will not work with this caterer because her boys were smelling. And like, we have funny requests. I tell my caterers, I say, make sure your people serving food are not smelling. They should buy deodorants. They should shift. We have those two shikoyi women that are literally going to tell you to your face, move, you are smelling. Like, they will not sugarcoat it. They will. So most times you find out that person, it affects their self-esteem and all of that. So I get to tell them beforehand, try to look good, try to pack your hair, because they will cut it to you. So
but
Lagos has that
sorry to
one.
cut you, but you said something very important at the start. Again, and again, this is not me trying to justify any terrible behaviors by the people working
Yes.
for a brand or
Mm,
business owner. But I've also, and I can say this from personal experience,
exactly.
um, there are a lot of all these people, these, what do you call them, servers that work for all these caterers and event planners. There are so many stories of people that are underpaid, that are maltreated, that are ill.
Oh,
So it's like a retaliatory action. Because check this,
exactly.
there was a lady that I actually met through a friend sometime, and I remember her saying this to me in Nigeria about, oh, she hasn't got a choice because there's no other jobs going for her. So she's like stuck with this woman,
Mm.
and she said, do you know that this woman is yet to pay us for the last 2 events? So, how do you think someone like that will behave at the subsequent event? So, at that point, it's a survival
At the
mode.
subsequent event,
They are trying
it's a
to,
survival thing.
yeah, they're trying to steal. They're not, loyalty's gone down the drain. So imagine if somebody can just beckon and say, here is 4,000 naira, keep this table flowing for me. Or some of them, they try to steal, drink and food. It's out of hunger. I'm not justifying it, but sometimes
Okay,
it's
yes, yes.
ill treatment that make those people
No,
behave like that.
I perfectly understand you, because even there was a podcast recently where I think FK and her friend, they were interviewing people that were wrongly maltreated in the event industry. Very interesting podcast, because they actually called out people. And because I'm in the industry, I basically know those companies. There are bosses that have slapped their staff, real slap. I have got slapped, because how will I slap you? I just need to shout, you will cry. But I don't need to slap you. But slap, in front of people, that is crazy. Like, demean the person, underpay the person. Sometimes they just scream. And I'm not saying it's peculiar to Lagos. I'm only saying that most of the stories are from Lagos. And I will not fully blame them, because, like I said, most times they are working for these big women and big men. There was one incident they mentioned of somebody insulting an usher. Oh no, a a a a guest slapped an usher, and the
Wow.
usher basically said, "Don't slap me," or she basically like talked back to the guest like, "Why would you slap me?" and all of that. And the planner came and slapped the usher. Do you get this like scenario? Okay, so it was just odd. So my sister was giving me the feedback from the podcast and said, "What?" I said, "Listen, The reason the planner did that, I'm not justifying the planner, but you see that guest that must have slapped the usher might be a recurring client. And you know our job is based on referrals. So maybe this
Yeah,
client has given her several jobs, high profile jobs. So now in the heat of the moment that you're talking back at this her top client, she now slaps. No justification because that is wrong. She hits it.
absolutely.
But you see that the client at that point is expecting you to slap the usher. This is Lagos. Like, if Lagos, they want, because you slapped somebody and the person is telling you, why did you slap? And you're shocked that the person is talking back to you. Maybe because you have butlers, you have servants that dare not speak back to you. So now you beckon on the event planner and you're looking at her and you want her to take action right now because this person talked to you in front of all these other people that dare not.
I like that. So now I like what you just said, that scenario. There comes the question of integrity. Because for someone like me, I mean, it's not my industry. I am never going to assault anyone to please a client. And I
Yeah,
know it's a dodgy one. Some of these big, so-called big wigs. So
exactly.
if you don't do that, they then pull plugs on what do you call now? They pull plugs on their business
Blacklist you.
contract with you.
Exactly.
And then you then think, oh snap, I've lost millions and stuff. So I think again, it's a vicious cycle, and I like the fact that you brought up this conversation. It's basically the application of Nigeria's lawlessness. Because see, for me, like you as a business owner, I respect the fact that and I know it's not easy to get to where you are right now and stuff. But for someone like me, I am much more concerned about the people at the bottom end of the spectrum. Because those
Exactly.
people, I don't care how big you are at the top, the people serving, the people arranging the chairs, the drivers, the photographers, the assistants, the guy
They
holding
are the
the mic.
they are the
Those
ones that
are the
make or
people
break
that keep the
the
business
event.
rolling. Because if those people
Exactly.
don't show up, you got nothing.
Nothing. Because
So
see, that's why I'm going somewhere with this. When she did that, and my sister was telling me like, oh, see what I heard, and because they didn't give me, I listened to it and I was like, okay, I know a couple of people, but frankly, I'm based in Port Harcourt. Nobody will slap my usher. Like, I'm always the one in front. You can scream at them. You can basically. I've had a client that wanted two ushers to just stand beside him for the entire event, destroying my entire floor plan. We have funny requests, but don't slap them. And that is Port Harcourt because a lot of people here are more. I've had people that almost wanted to slap me. I don't have a problem with that. But my staff, no.
slap
No.
you,
So most times I try to limit.
try to slap you.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Wow.
Of course. That's the job. Most times it comes with the job, especially when they feel they are paying you. They will want to slap you. They will feel like they can. So I always tell people, if you don't take care of your staff, if there's a way you talk to your staff, these people are seeing it and they will talk to them worse than that. So if, like I said before your story, before this story I was telling, when
Yeah.
you see that kind of lady, if it's my event and I know that this certain chief's wife or top person is going to sit here and she's fond of demeaning stuff, I take the softest people. I take the people that can literally eat your insult and just be like, okay, ma, okay. Why? Because they will always show up at your events. You can't kill them. But most times I tell ushers or I tell people they didn't do anything wrong. If I don't know the full story, but I will tell you, Phrankleen, I'm sure that usher did nothing wrong. But one of my rules is that two ushers cannot even talk to each other in my events. Why? Because most of these other guests are insecure. If two ushers are smiling or laughing, they think you're laughing about their hair, their face, their dress. They feel insecure. So I tell ushers never to laugh or smile at each other or give each other funny faces because the guests might think you're talking about them. It's random, but it's something I've experienced. So
What?
for the yes, yes. They'll be
If
like,
if
why
if,
is that
if an
usher
usher if
laughing?
an
I
usher
think she's
has a
talking
smile
about
on her
me.
face, or she was enjoying a bit of a laugh with
You
her
can
colleague.
just smile on your own, but no. When the event is happening, no. Because you might go to want to talk to your usher, and the two of you are talking about a movie or something as random as that. I've had clients or guests basically call me and tap me and say, those two ushers, I don't like the way they are laughing. And I'm like, okay, ma. And I tell them to separate. Why? Because people are insecure. They are very rich. They have all the money. But if they feel they don't look beautiful and you're laughing, they feel you're laughing at them. This is a very sensitive industry, frankly. Everything we do is targeting them. So most times it's a way of breaking the ice. So if you have that kind of person, that kind of guest, because they are the money makers. If you're doing an event in Lagos, I see a question. I'm going to answer it from the common
Yeah.
sense sisters. I see a question. I'll answer it. If you're doing event planning in Lagos, this is Frankleen's show, and I'm going to tell you 100%. Lagos it's like a sect, Franklin. They are climbers. There are certain rules you need to follow for you to enter certain circles, whether you like it or not. Lagos is about setting rules. I know if somebody like Denzel Washington is entering Lagos, I know the circle of people that will first see him without even bothering. Because I know the circle of people in the event industry, in the entertainment industry that own Lagos. So if you want to break into that circle, most times there are certain, I know you're from the Yoruba, they bow to greet, they bow to greet. So the moment you do not do that, there's a problem. The moment you do not call somebody Egbon, you do not call somebody auntie, you do not call, there's a problem. And it affects the event industry because most times they look at, oh, Asy, you're just 31. I was thinking that you were, so I'm older than you. There's always I'm older than when it comes to Lagos. So everybody is, yes, it's an age thing. There's always that age thing. So if you're doing events in Lagos, I know it is tough because you need to suck up to most of these women to enter their space. Most times, if you're a makeup artist, ask makeup artists. I'm not saying something that's far off, that go to their homes to make them up. Ha! It takes the grace of God. I'm talking of real life experience. The demeaning, do not touch my chairs. Do you know how much it costs? Do not stand there and just stare. Do you know how much that costs? Can your father afford it? Funny
Wow.
things. If it's not the grace of God and the fact that you need to eat, many people will never take those jobs again. But sometimes this is what you're exposed to. And that is why I say if you have a short fuse, if you have hot temper, this is not the job. They will
That's a really
insult,
tough
they
industry,
will.
man. There's a lot of lawlessness.
Oh, there is a lot. It's not small. There is a lot. Your problem is not the uneducated ones. Those ones do not have problem. The highest thing is they might come and they want to eat. That's nothing. I'm talking of the educated ones that want to frustrate you. They come in and they ask for all the types of cocktails. It's not possible for you to have all the types of cocktails. They come in and they want prawn dipped in another sauce. They want something out of the menu. I've had a chairman of the occasion ask for oatmeal cake. I'm like, oatmeal, what? Oatmeal cake. And
Go
here
and
I
make
am
that.
speaking.
Go and make that at home in your house. What?
Yeah, I'm just thinking like, where can I get oatmeal cake? Who knows how to make oatmeal cake? We've had funny requests. People basically tell you, I trained the groom. I need all the types of food there. If not, I'm going to beat this usher up. We've had those things. So it's you as a guest. A lot of us are guests. So most times these are the things we face. That's why I said when I started this life, I said when the doors open, you do not know who is coming through till
Yeah.
the wedding is over. You do not know. There are different types of wearing people that are going to come in. So to answer your question,
It
common sense
says,
sisters, you say, have you ever planned a wedding in Nigeria that had strictly by invitation guest list? If so, did you have bouncers and what do you experience? Oh yes, I have. And it's only one that worked. I've been in this event for 5 years. Only one strictly by invitation wedding worked. And that was because the mothers worked with me. They switched off their phone that day and basically stayed inside the hall because there's a lot of emotional blackmail that goes on when it's strictly by invitation. I've planned a
yeah.
couple of very big events, really big, but there's still emotional blackmail. Even the government events, you have bouncers. Of course, sometimes we even have security guards. So there's an event that we invited the governor of a particular state, and like we had like 6 governors. They came with their normal entourage, let's say 4 to 6 ADCs and the rest. This particular governor, I'm not going to mention the state, he came with his entourage and he came with 30 other guests. 30. This is a strictly by invitation wedding, and you're coming with 30 guests is 3 tables. It messed up my sitting arrangements. It messed up a lot of things because all the guests wanted to sit inside, and that becomes very tough. And governors are not people you tell to show Ivy. Are you serious? This is Nigeria. They don't show Ivy. So it's very tough. It's seriously tough. You say, what advice can you give someone in diaspora that wants to establish tent business? Have a God-fearing person in Nigeria, because that is the toughest thing to do. Have a God-fearing person in Nigeria. Sometimes you might have a very good person in Nigeria, and the person can be so good, another hall will take the person. It's a dog-eat-dog business. Nobody's your friend. This is event business. Nobody is your friend. So you can have a very good person, because there's a hall I used earlier this year. The owners are in Canada. They have a good manager. They have another person. And there were certain things I had to change. And I was talking with them. I said, why didn't you ask an event planner before you started? And so that you can do this, you can do that. But I think that is the best business you can have if you're in diaspora, events or rentals. Why? Because you
You frozen.
okay, sorry. You can have CCTV cameras in your space. You
Yeah.
can know what's happening, but you can have the disadvantage of, let me tell you, have a disadvantage. You can have your staff siphoning your event to another venue to get caught. Let me repeat that. He can be taking an event that was supposed to be booked in your event center to another event center that is going to pay him. Let's say you're going to be giving him 100,000 a month. Let's
Yeah.
just say ballpark. No matter the event that comes, is 100,000 a month. And then another event center promises to give him 50,000 for one event. So if he gives that event center 6 events, he's getting 300,000 aside his pay for that month. It is more profitable now for
Wow.
him to move that your event. Do you understand how tricky it is? So if you're going to establish an event center, have incentives for your staff minus their salary when it comes to getting events. I know it's tough, but you have to. Because it's a dog-eat-dog world. This business is tough. If you do not do it, another person will take your staff. It happens every day, frankly. They will take the person. They will double his salary and take him. It's not that they are in diaspora, they're here in Nigeria with you. With me, they will take the person. And the person gives you stories. Oh, my father did this, my
That's
uncle
why.
did this. I need to resign. Before you know, I am for I'm not discouraging you, but understand where I'm coming from. You need to have, I will not say have a brother, because there is no business that has been left in the hands of brothers. That very few that did well. Very few. Very, very few. So I would say, if it's a sister, unless the person is God fearing, and has your
That's
interest
why.
at heart.
That's why I always say, like, diasporans. I mean, that analysis you gave, man, that shocks me to the bones, man. So you have somebody on ground, and they just divert your bookings. It's interesting that you told me. I mean, that you just said this, right? There was this one. Let me tell you this one. This guy watches my channel. Yeah, he's based in the States. So he built, because he's been on my neck. He wants me to, like, make a video about it on my channel. But check this out. So he built a hotel in Nigeria, yeah, in Ogun State, and he's got the kitchen area. He's got all the vending machines, like for the drinks and everything. So the kitchen. He's got a chef employed who's meant to be, like when people are in the hotel room, they order their food, and to make more money for the hotels and stuff. Guess what? The manager and the two other staff were doing, yeah. So all of this man's food stock and the drinks, they won't touch it. They will bring their own supplies through the back door, and they were filling the man's fridge and freezer with their own drinks. Do you see? And then they will bring in their own food stuff, meat and whatever. They bring it into the kitchen area. They even snuck in a small size fridge and freezer. Can you hear me? I'm not sure if I've lost you now. Are you still there? I think we've lost Asy again. The connection is really bad. Can you hear me? Hello? Right. Asy, okay, let's see again. Let's see.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're back now.
Oh yes, so sorry.
Yeah, no, it's
I
fine,
will
it's
not
fine.
advise anybody, even my enemy,
Wait. Just
to open a
watch this.
hotel.
Watch this. So they were bringing in their own food stuff through the back door, and they sidelined the man's own food supplies, his alcohol. They were bringing in their
Supplies.
own alcohol, and they were selling it and making money. So the man is sat in America, is ringing, what's the stock level? And they just be like, the customers are not really buying much drink. They're not ordering. Oh, yesterday they only bought 2 plates of Nkwobi. Oh, they've only bought 7 bottles of drink 4 days ago. They're not really doing much. And then you can imagine he's sat abroad, he's getting frustrated that the sales are not good. And also they will sell a hotel. How did he explain this? They will sell like a bigger room. They'll put a client, they'll put it down for a smaller amount. Like hotels have different
Yeah.
rates, and then they'll collect the difference and share it amongst themselves. So
That's chilling.
one day, this man went to Nigeria unannounced, and then he didn't tell them he was coming home, and then he landed at the hotel, went into the kitchen, and he found out that there were their own foodstuffs in there. He fired virtually everybody. But the problem is, because he's not on ground, he ended up selling off the hotel. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's what happens, Phrankleen. I when it comes to establishing business, I think this is where most people in diaspora, they're in a hurry to probably keep their money somewhere, especially when it comes to investing in your hometown.
Yeah,
But I don't think it is always the best. Why? Because I'm a business person, so I'm just going to be as realistic as possible. If, like, let's say he's saying if you want to establish a tent business, I would prefer you use an investment company. They are so expensive, but they have staff that they literally employ. There's a hierarchy. They get HR to do a job interview. They have people that go on ground to monitor your business. They will cost up to 2 times, but at least you know your business is in safe hands. But when it comes to something like that needs micromanagement, like
yeah.
hotel, it's not advisable for you not to be on ground. I'd
Thank
rather
you.
you save the money. I'd rather you reinvest the money into properties abroad, keep reinvesting it. Then when you want to retire, you come and build your resort and basically sit inside. They will not cheat you. I'd rather you do that because you're definitely going to make money. The money you're going to make in Nigeria today and the money you make in 5 years to come is not running. You make money. Because even me, as somebody that has been in this business, I have seen a lot of people from diaspora wanting to, drop something in terms of maybe let me have a house. And I would even advise you, if you have so much money, you can get a good land and build shops. I didn't say houses for rent. I said shops. Why? Because houses for rent, when you get a tenant, the tenant is used to your property, Chasing a tenant that has filled up a 2-bedroom flat is hard. But when it comes to a shop, it's just from here to here. If you can't pay, I mean, 3 months, 2 months, you just need to pay. And it's easy for you to pack your things. So build shops and give it to an investment, an agent or a company, rather than having something that needs micromanagement. Make sure you have insurance. People don't think of insurance. Those are basic things, but don't have a hotel. Don't do that. Don't have a business like, let's say, poultry, let's say fishery. If you're not here, don't give your family. I'm serious, because I know that, oh my God, Asy, I have a brother that is not doing anything. I want to give him. Are you serious? Are you serious? I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Don't worry. Based off of the profits that this investment people are bringing, and you're maybe dashing him 15,000 or 30,000 or whatever, than for you to bring your brother into the management position. He will run that business down. He will run it
Yeah.
down. It is
Yeah.
expensive to set up a business, like use proper investment bankers or investment managers. But please do it. If you want to set up, like, the positive side, let it not be like I told him only cons. The positive side to setting up an event business, I would first ask you, like, you can ask somebody like me, I'm an event planner. It depends on where your event hall is going to be. This business you want to set up, the person that asks the question, I'll ask you, where do you want to set it up? If it's Lagos, Abuja, or Port Harcourt, these are the top areas. Because if you set up a hall in, let's say, Uyo, the same size in Port Harcourt will cost 2 times more. It's location. The same size in Lagos will cost 3 times more. It's location. But understand that in Lagos, they have 5% tax, normal 7.5 government tax, 5% consumption tax, 20,000 local government tax, 20. They have funny taxation system in Lagos. It's a mess. But you would make money in Lagos. You make more money in Lagos. But every other place, if you don't want all those plenty brouhaha, Port Harcourt or Abuja is okay. But if you set up maybe in a place like Warri, Lagos, you will still make money. But when it comes to the amount for that same hall in a metropolitan city, it won't get to that amount. So it's about patience, you know. Hall business is not fast money. Even if you use 100 million to set up that business, it will take you a long time to run, to get your main amount. That's why I say, most of these ideas you're having, write it down and let it be an idea that, you know, you're going to be there with it. You're going to micromanage it. You can expand. You're not running away. You know, it's frustrating, frankly. I know that for those people in diaspora that have set up businesses, it's frustrating hearing that you don't have profits. Sometimes they're not lying to you, but you will never be at ease. It is even better for you to be in Nigeria and see that you're not having profits than for somebody to be telling you that you're not having profits. Even if the person is telling you the truth, you might not be at ease. You understand? Because there's so much you have spent inside the business. And a lot of people told you that businesses like that make money, but it's patience, you know, it's patience. When you want to start a business like that, use good people. If you really need to start, if you're not going to come back to Nigeria in the next 20 years, I don't see the need starting a business. I don't see the need. I would prefer you put that money, and you know how you could do those mortgage things. We don't do mortgage here. Here it's 100%. Those people that do mortgage chef is when the bank knows you have steady salary. So I prefer you do those there and be making your money. When you know you're about to come to Nigeria, you know, like some people want to retire here, which is perfect. I've told my husband severally, if I leave Nigeria, is okay. I would save money, gather the money and gather the pounds and gather the euro or whatever, and know that I'm spending my 60s or 70s in my village. I build that resort. I'm here with you people. You know, whatever change you want to make, whatever business you want to, it's not running away. You're going to make money. If you open a
But
hotel today or next 10
another
years,
thing is,
you make
sorry to
money.
cut you there. You know, like I don't know if you've seen that video. There's a lady called Jules, right? She's in
Yes.
she's in the States, and she's run a business in Nigeria and stuff. And I just want to hammer on the point.
Okay.
Well, while she was on ground anyway, but she made sure that the business was cashless, and she puts,
Okay.
try things in place. But then I understand, I'm trying to combine that with what you said as well. There are certain businesses that you might get away with it, monitoring from afar, but there are some that they need to be micromanaged, and if you're
You
not
need to
there,
be like this one. He said this events planning, and let's say rentals. You can't get away because there's a particular rentals business I did. I sorry. There's a particular rentals business I patronize that I'm thinking. I know I've not spoken to the owner in about a year, and my sense is telling me she has moved because Franklin, I'm sure everybody's moving now. I know that she has moved, but the way she set up her business, people like us, event planners that rent chairs or tables or fans from her, we know her account. We know the name of her business. A staff cannot send us their personal account to pay into. Do you understand? Because
yeah.
we run a business. We know that you understand? So we've never had issues where the staff is like, okay, ma, for this one that is just 5,000, pay to me. I will now later pay to the business. I'm like, are you kid? Are you a joke? Will you give
Are you
me
normal?
her account number? Do you understand? So yes, that's if you have that kind of relationship. Like most times, some of them tell us if you're into events and you want to leave the country, some sell off their businesses. To be fair, some still maintain it because I have another friend that is planning to move and she's thinking of who will buy the business and buy the brand and maybe take it up from there. But I'm thinking that the reason you need to speak with people like your major markets is so that they can also put an eye for you. It might seem very random, but if I know that somebody just says, Asy, today I'm not feeling so good. Can you stop by my office and just let me know if you see anything funny? We do that. As funny as it is, we do that. We just randomly go to the office and be like, where's Obina? Where's this person? Where's that person? Oh, she didn't come. Oh, this person didn't come. Why do you people run your business? And they just want to know. Sometimes, why I say I'm not discouraging them from running a business remotely, I'm only saying that realistically, frankly, if you want to do that, even if you're in Nigeria or you're running remotely, have a percentage allowance for theft. This is as realistic as I can be. I am telling you the truth. You can run your business 100% cashless, and there are clients that want that literally. For my business, yeah, I have it on my contract that I don't take cash. But there are some government weddings where they will give you cash. You can use it and bet with it. That's what they want to give you. You literally, that's all, So I have to take the money and run to the bank and pay into the account. I have lots of vendors that say, I don't do cash. But if we are doing that kind of wedding, I'm not going to tell them to send their staff to come and pick up the money. I will call you directly and say, Obina is cash, oh, come. This person is cash, oh, come. Or I pack it, I pay into my account, and then I do a transfer. There are clients that will compulsorily want to pay cash. If you do not have a good staff, that money will never be seen. There are clients that will not, maybe if you're selling something 5 naira and it's known, the client might just come and the staff in the heat of the moment wants to get a quick deal and say it's 10. And the client says, oh, fine, and pays them cash. That staff might pay you like the right amount and keep the change. Do not feel bad for that kind of thing. Let me repeat it. Did they pay you what you normally charge? Yes. Okay, they overcharged and they took the money. First of
Yeah.
all, don't sack the staff because of that. Most thieves go on to be very good staff. It's very weird. Tell the person, I know what you did. They know that, oh, if you find out, you will sack them. And you're like, no, Maureen, I saw that you doubled the amount for that client and you took the money. What did you use it for? My uncle's brother's cousin needed funny stories. and you tell them, Stanley, that's not how I run my business, and do not do it again. Yes, ma. Yes, ma. Thank you, ma. That's all. Do you understand? I would have
Yeah.
sacked Maureen, but that forgiveness has put Maureen in a place of never wanting to cheat me, because I caught her and I kept her. Now, Maureen, you use Maureen to track other thieves, knowing fully well that she knows how to do it. You say, Maureen, if you see somebody doing this, let me know. Yes, ma'am.
So
Sometimes, and at the back of your mind,
Maureen becomes loyal
oh,
to you.
please. Yeah, she becomes loyal to you. Yeah. At the back of your mind, you have still kept 5%. I also don't advise like you're running a business and all of them are from one tribe. It's somehow, but I don't advise it. You know, especially a tribe that maybe you're not from. They can easily gang up. Mix it up. So you have Yoruba, you have Akwa Ibom, you have mix it up. If you put 2 people or 3 people or the manager and 2 other people, like that hotel, are from Yoruba or are from Igbo, they might discuss how to pick or move something, and other staffs that are loyal to you cannot understand the language. If they cannot understand the language, they cannot help you. So things might be getting missing, but this Maureen is there and she cannot really help you, you know, because she didn't hear what they said, and they said it maybe in their local dialect, you know. So from time to time, I also advise, you know, most times Nigerians, when we do a business, we just train the staff once and leave them.
Yeah.
Frequent training. Frankly, people do not want to pay for frequent training. Your staff is bored. They are doing the same thing over and over again. They are bored. You're not training them. There's no retreat. There's no, you know, get together. You pack all of them. They go for picnic. Get to know them. What is your son's name? What is your daughter's name? What age is your, you know, I have some fantastic vendors that have staff of 15 years, 20 years. These are staff that they have been with them for the longest. And this lady will tell you, I know her daughter. I paid for the daughter's school fees. You know, there are certain monies that are not too big for us to spend. You know, your staff is struggling to raise money to pay for her son's JAMB. How much is JAMB? You want her to use her salary. Pay for that. Call the boy. Encourage him. You know, frankly, these are ways that I enter people without being, you know, you just talk
But that's
to the
good
boy.
though. That's good though. Whilst you're not obligated to do that,
You're not
but I
obligated
feel
to
as
doing that.
though if you are able to reward, particularly the loyal ones, and when they don't see it coming, like for example, a woman that you know has been good, you helped pay for her son or daughter's jam or something like that, they get even a lot more loyal to you.
Yeah, especially some of them, they'll be like, madam, I didn't come today. That's my son, you know. Because sometimes these women are working lots of jobs, and you know how boys can be. Boys can be boys if you don't watch them and they want to stray. I basically got, okay, school is over. Join us. Follow me in my car. Today you're my PA. Do you understand that kind of setting? And in that PA kind of talk, I'm like, who are your friends? So what do you want to do? I want to be a footballer. To be a footballer is good though, you know, but don't join bad gang, you know. What is there in Cold Stone? He has never taken Cold Stone. It's just 3,000. Buy for the boy. You know, change his life, change his perspective. Tell him your mother is working hard. Try not to disobey her. Put, you know, take care of your younger ones. Sometimes you get a more loyal staff because she knows that you have spoken to her son. Her son is now holding forth at home. She's working with her mind, frankly. She's not distracted. She's now giving you her focus because home is taken care of. You'll be like, if you come first or you come first 3, I'm going to buy you something. That boy is now in school, working hard, not just for his mother, but because you promised to give him something. And then he doesn't come first 3, he comes 4th. You still give him something. You know, there's a way you enter people. These are your staff. You're not obligated. I mean, you're paying her salary. Like Christmas is coming. Give them hampers. Because a lot of them, Christmas is event season. There are some
Yeah.
I can count, you know, when I got married initially, many Christmases were not spent in my house. I'm in another state. I'm planning a wedding. And I got to thinking, you see, most times when we do that, we have to pay the staff more because this is holiday season. You're taking them out of their family. There has to
Yeah.
be an incentive. So most times businesses are encouraged, try to maybe buy them a bag of rice, oil, nice things, just so that they're encouraged. And that's why banks pay 13-month salary. Not that, just to encourage them. Give them a little more than their usual salary. That will help if you're looking for loyal staff, loyal long-term. If you have long-term staff, you can branch out the business. This woman can manage another branch. You will not stay in one place forever. This person can manage another branch because the person has been your long-term staff. It comes to a point that you now offer her a percent. These are the people you offer percentage. She's already clocking 50.
Talk about your, sorry to cut you, talk about your 3003 events and how they can find you. Go on.
Oh, okay. I run 3003 events. You can find us on Instagram. I know, frankly, in this period, Instagram algorithm, we're always, funny enough, I would credit Instagram for raising the business. When I started like I said, I'm a petroleum engineer. I just started basically with one thing in mind: excellence. So if I do your wedding and your photograph, the photographs are not fine, I'm not uploading it. There are many times I pay a photographer to take pictures that I can upload. That was how I built my business. I was so bent on excellence. So that way, at the initial time, of course, you're getting to
I like that statement. Being bent on excellence. I like that.
On excellence. If it's not excellent, I'm not doing it. You just continue to build on it. And when I got to that point, there was a brand that was doing adverts. I didn't even have the money. It was a lot. I mean, I just started, and the next year they were asking for 200,000. I wasn't even charging that much. So I asked for, like, can I pay installments? And then I packaged very fine pictures and I sent. That advert for that whole year, because I paid for a year of adverts, it pushed my business up. So it didn't just get 100%, it went 200, it went up. Because the kind of clientele that comes in now wants to be sure that you can handle money. You can handle the kind of money they are looking at. Most times, the way we run our businesses, the clients, like the last wedding I did, I saw them for the first time on their wedding day. I saw them for the first time on their wedding day. We planned everything. They were sending money and all of that. And they just, on the wedding day, I'm like, hey, it's me. It's integrity. It's trust. You don't get that overnight. You just need to be patient. So you can find me on Instagram at 3003 events. I also decided to branch into YouTube, so people get to know, like, me beyond the events. And I did YouTube mainly because Instagram algorithm was just hitting me hard, and you put so much work and you don't see so much out. So I decided to also use YouTube as a way of advertising our businesses and showing the behind the scenes, basically what goes on in events. And I vlog all these things on my phone, which is the funny part. I vlog all these things on my phone. Vlog on my phone, edit on my phone, and just push it. So because I'm on the job, it will be funny for your event planner to be walking around with camera. It doesn't make sense. So I'm on the job and I just take my phone, do a quick video, put it back in my pocket, and I'm still on the job. So some people want to see that. They want to see the intensity with which events go on. But I still want to encourage any.
Okay. Sorry to cut you. You said something earlier about the photography side of things. Okay. So I wanted to just pick your brain quickly.
Okay, yes.
So you were saying that you had paid photographer up to about 1 point something million naira and yes, stuff. That was at the start. So are you saying that photography is well paid for in Nigeria? Because I've always thought they probably wouldn't pay them well.
Yes, no. Yes. That photographer, I'm just going to snitch. That photographer that I paid 1.2, I'm going to pay him 1.54. Yeah, that's his new price. Yes, for a wedding I'm having next year, 1.54. And you don't just appear to that point where people pay you that amount. He has been in the business for long. People pay brands that amount. They don't pay individuals. So when you come out and you make a name, like have a brand, have a style, flow with the times, you know, be particular. There are people that are very good, but they are not reliable. And like I said initially, I mentioned event planning businesses like They Happen Ministries. Now that you're running, make it happen, because by next year, there's a new crop of photographers that will rise. I see that almost every year. We have the OGs that people always ask for, but then we have the new ones that come up every year, every 2 years. Somebody initially will say, okay, this is the person. Then next 2 years, a new photographer comes up. So don't say like the market is saturated. It's not. You can come on board today and your style of photography will appeal to some audience. And all you need is one good job. If you get one good job and you over deliver, you are nice. Because Phrankleen, I can't believe that I'm saying being nice is a thing, but this is Nigeria. A lot of people are not nice. If you are nice, you talk well, you know, you're approachable, people are going to patronize you. Most of my clients, I'm big on energy. I'm big on energy, because if the photographer carries this bossy, mean energy into a room where a bride is getting dressed, the energy of the place is low. I don't need that energy. The moment you do it once, I will never call you again. I'm not even kidding. Never. Anybody that asks of you, I will tell them that you don't have good energy. And I will tell you. Why? Because wedding planning industry, weddings itself, they are very sensitive. You will see that something as small that never would have affected you as a person, during that your wedding planning, it affects you. Can you hear me? I think I'm alone now. Oh my God. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. She's disappeared again. Right, let's see. Bear with me 1 second. Asy, I could hear you. Don't know what happened there. Sadly, we've lost Asy. She'll probably come back in a moment. Right, she's back.
Can you hear me? You went offline.
I can hear you. Yeah, carry on talking. I can hear you.
Okay, you just went offline. So I was
saying
No,
I was just in the background. Carry on.
Oh, really? I didn't know. I was saying that for photographers, do not feel like the market is saturated, you know. There's a photographer that came, I would say he came into limelight, would I say in less than 3 years or 2 years. His new package is 1.2. So yes, you can go like this. You can in photography, you can go like this. For another part that really pays, I would say it's okay. Like if you're in diaspora and you have younger ones that are looking for ways to get into the event industry, or you want to help set them up. Okay, let me touch this one. You have people that are sitting at home. The only thing they collect from you is money. Even if you ask me, in fact, you can DM me. Let them go and learn small chops, how to do small chops. The least I pay per small plates is 500. I pay good ones 1,005. Let that your auntie or cousin or sister or brother learn small chops. And I know for guys, they'll be like, I don't want to do cooking. Most clients prefer men to cook their food. It's just the way it is. And you stand out as a guy that can cook. There's a brand in Ghana. It's called Men Can Cook, GH. Phrankleen, they are cleaning out all the catering deals. Why? Because there's a precision that men bring into catering. Men cook the food, the men serve the food, they dress prim and proper. These are not guys that are looking haggard. They look good. People like those kind of things and they pay premium for it. So if you're a guy that can cook, set your team up. All of you, I mean, make a stand. Most times we don't eat it first. We eat with our eyes. We like to see good things. So set
Yeah.
that up. If you have also a brother that doesn't know what to do, cocktail. Even if you DM me, I'll tell you for free. Depends on where the person is going to be based. They should go and learn how to make cocktails. It's also something you can start with not so much money. All you need is the bar, you need your drinks, and then you need contacts. To get good contacts, you need to be nice. You need to prove yourself. If you can prove yourself and get proper reviews, you might need to do a couple of free jobs to climb. It's okay. I did free jobs. The reason I did free jobs was because having pictures is very important. As an event planner, you might need to start with free jobs. And I tell the clients, okay, even if I'm doing a free job for you, please use a good photographer. Like I said, excellence. I would do it for free, pay my staff. Frankly, there are some jobs, like my first job, I told her, I said, don't pay me. Just pay the people I'm working with. Because from the first day, I told myself, I'm never going to not pay. Even my sisters, I work with my sisters. I work with my brother-in-laws. You know, when I was starting, I pay each and every one of them. I even work with some of my friends. I'm like, today is Saturday. What are you doing? You know, I just started this event business. Come and join me. You know, help me just organize. At the end of the day, I give them something. I pay them. Right. Even if I don't get paid, I make sure I pay the staff. That way you maintain a certain level of integrity, a certain level of excellence. So even if you're going to start off catering, no, sorry, not catering because it's high capital intensive. Let them start small chops. Let them start what they call cocktails. I'll patronize if they start small chops. If they are good though, I'll patronize. I'm not promising. They should start accessories business. Frankly, there is money in accessories, bridal earrings, bridal hair, whatever. Go and
You're dropping gems, man. You're dropping gems. I'm loving it. Go on.
Start it. Rings. What I'm wearing is sterling silver. I think I bought my ring. I bought it 40,000 or something very cheap. My husband's ring was 100 and something because for me, I know that I'm a lady. I will change my ring. My husband's ring is forever. So that was my idea. Let him buy the gold. I can buy sterling silver. And it has taken me 5 years. I think this is the 5th year. I would need to change it. You can go into ring business, you know, go to China or go anywhere, start with sterling silver, get bracelets, nice ones. Another thing is hairstyling. I pay my hairstylist 60,000. You know those hair that the bride carry, that they just do like this and do like this? Yes, we pay 60,000. Lagos, I pay 120,000. Just have the skill. A lot of people say, oh, I don't want to be a hairdresser. Please, that is money in terms of events. It is money. If you know how to do bridal styling, it is money. Makeup, even if you do makeup for the bridesmaid, the list is 6,000, 7,000. Go into that. Next one, they should learn cake. If they don't get big jobs as top cake people, they should do desserts. Make desserts, proper desserts that are nice. That market is not such that there are some parts of what will I say? There are some parts of Nigeria that they have not opened up to desserts, like Port Harcourt. They don't really care for those things, so their drink budget is high. It's drink. But in Lagos like Serenre and the rest. But the thing with Lagos, like I mentioned, you have to be in the circle. You have to be in the circle. You might literally need to contact event planners and ask them if there's a particular requirement to be in their vendor list. I do not have a vendor list. I don't operate my business like that. I operate my business basically on what you can offer and if my client wants you. But there are Lagos planners that have vendor lists. The purpose of vendor list is some people just approach them and say, I need a wedding. They say, okay, your wedding is costing 15 million. And then they can bring all these vendors that they have in their list. And maybe you pay something or they have a kickback. I don't know. I'm not going to put it like out there, like saying it's certain, but maybe that's the way they operate. So look into that. Another way you can make money from events, look into bouquet, making of bouquet. You know, the bouquets that people carry, you know, Look into making bouquets. It will give you money. I pay 25 I think on average for bouquets, I pay 25. If it's fresh flowers, we pay 85, 50 or thereabouts. A lot of people come I like the way people are shocked when they start to plan their wedding and they hear these amounts. It's always funny, but there's money everywhere. You can look into Ashwebi packaging, something as small as that. It sells a lot
So
in
let me
Lagos.
say something. Let me say something. I'm thinking right now
Yeah.
because at the top level of your business, because I'm following you. Trust me, I'm paying attention to everything you're saying. So, say for example, you take the big gig as 3003 events now. So, and you're going to deal with, as an example now, 12 vendors that you have to outsource A, B, C, D, E, F, G to. So it's very easy for you to put your markups on all of those things. And you make money off all of those services you are outsourcing, right?
Yes, it is, but I don't do it. Why? Because it's just a thing of integrity. I think for me personally, I don't
So
really do markups.
how do you make money? So what I'm saying is this:
Yes.
if you get a wedding, okay, and then you say, oh, Franklin, I want you to handle the photography, right? So you and
Yeah.
I agree on X Y Z, and then you're the one who's going to pay me. But wouldn't it be a good idea that you get some kind of cut off the whatever you build your client for the?
Exactly. Exactly. A lot of people run their businesses like that. The reason I do not run my business like that is because, take for instance, this couple, they have your number, Franklin. They call you, you're a photographer, and you tell them, of course, 1 million. And probably you've told me 1 million. And then we agree to say, okay, 1.2. It becomes a thing of integrity. And sometimes we have vendors that even give clients better deals than they give planners, which was a menace, something that just started happening. Why? Because they know if 3003 is calling them, it's probably a big wedding. So they refuse to give certain discounts because they feel it's a politician's daughter's wedding, it's a government official's son's wedding. They feel that. But then if these clients can disguise and call these vendors, you find out that they want to give, like, you price and price and price, and they will be giving discounts. Most times when I find vendors that do that, I blacklist them. I can't work like that. You put me in a place where I feel like I'm not somebody of integrity. But then I know that I'm supposed to be making more by marking up, but I want to start like this. Why? Because I just leave it in the hands of you. There are a couple of vendors we've worked with, like, we give you different jobs. You tell me 20,000, I tell the couple 20,000. It's not a problem. And then at the end of the year, or sometimes even after that wedding, I just get an alert and somebody's like, Asy, this is just for you. I appreciate you. I prefer that. I prefer that. Sometimes I just leave it in their hands. They might not send, and it's totally fine. Since I get paid for my services, I would hold on to that one. Yes, it's not totally wrong because most event planners do the markup. So I'm not going to be here to bash them. I just feel because of this, back and forth, it comes with
So
clients
how do
and
you, if you don't mind me asking, how do you make your
mm,
own money? You make your money
I get
simply
paid.
based on
Yeah,
your service charge, and that's it.
yes, yes. That's
Well,
basically
your
it.
service charge must be a big one then.
No, see, that's just the part. Like I said, this is the way I want to do it. Sometimes you have let's say vendors that their normal charge for this particular item is 20 naira. But then everybody calls them is 20 naira. But then if I call them, they say it's 20 naira. And I go like, okay, send account number. I say, okay, but since it's you, pay me 10. They offer to give you that kick. Sometimes you have situations whereby vendors throw planners under the bus. I am not kidding. They go like, I told them five. I told her 5 naira. Why did she tell you 10 naira? People can cheat. I don't want to be in that position. Yes, they do it. They do it, and they make the person feel bad. Unless the person is close to you and decides, Asy, I'm going to give you. I know it's 150. I charge everybody 150, but since it's your client, instead of paying me the 150, give me 120, give me 130, keep 30 for yourself, keep 20 for yourself. I'm very contented with that. I know that I would have been doing more, but it's little by little. Sometimes these little bits of integrity is what gets me some kind of big jobs, because they know that they can send you millions from Canada, from US, and you would deliver. You're not cheating them. You know, like I said, these my clients, I had never met them. We had not even done video call, only WhatsApp messages. They had not even heard my voice, just the groom, you know, and they just know that there's an entity called Asy, and she would deliver my job. And these are people that were sending millions. Pay for pay for this, pay for that, pay for that. And all I'm telling them is it's paid, it's paid, it's paid. And you appear in Nigeria. What makes you think I was not lying? You know, it's just that integrity. It's in my heart at this point that you're not getting what you deserve or what you feel you deserve. But I think in the long term, you know, look at it in the long term. If you get to a point where, that's why Lagos planners have a directory. If I have a directory, if I operate my business like that, all the vendors or photographers that are in my directory are probably obligated to pay me a percentage. So therefore, it limits my client's choice, and that's not what I want. I want them to be able to choose photographers that might not necessarily be in my directory. Do you understand? I might have 20 photographers in my directory. Imagine if I'm so used to getting kickbacks, and then my client is picking somebody that is not in my directory. And now, like, oh my God, you know, since I have these people, I'm obligated to giving them jobs. But
Yeah.
I feel so much calm knowing that I'm not me. If I don't give you, it's still fine. But the moment I know that I get kickbacks from you, I feel obligated. That's why I feel I'm not doing that as of now, you know, personally. But I don't bash anybody that does it. I also want them to be careful. If you operate this kind of business, be very careful. There are vendors that are throwing you under the bus. You might never know now, you know, because these vendors, photographers have their number on Instagram. The couple, yes, they're calling you to plan their events, but they can call that photographer directly and ask for his rates, you know, and bid and get a better offer than what you presented, you know. So just be careful for that kind of situation. We have couples like that, frankly. They basically call you to plan, but they plan it themselves. They will just, me and my mother want this person, we have called this person, and you're like, why am I the planner, you know? But it's a trust thing. Some people like to be in control. So if you find yourself in that kind of position, if you're someone of integrity and you know that whatever you charge is something that you can work with, you just stay back and allow them do the work and just supply you the names, okay? You're not going to lose as far as event is concerned. You're not going to lose, but just make sure you might not gain. Just make sure you don't lose. That is how I operate my business. No matter what, you might not get so much. Make sure you can cover your overhead costs. I don't like losing business. You know, a lot of people cut down their price because of how competitive the market is. You charge so low. You're running a loss business. It doesn't make sense to be busy and your accountant is angry. It doesn't make any sense. I prefer to sit at home with my son than to do a business that's not going to pay me. If you're not going to pay me considerably enough in cash, you're going to pay me in portfolio. Like, your event is so prominent to my portfolio.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get money, but not the kind of money I should have gotten. So what is going to add to this thing is the exposure your kind of event is bringing. Because those big events really are not the one that pays the most. You know, they pay in name, it's just name. But it's good for your business, because the moment somebody sees that you have handled this kind of business, they can trust you with their kind of business. You know, that's how it builds. But I am not a party to a business of loss, no matter what. Don't run a loss business. The best you can do is break even and at least have money for your fuel and your transport. You must not have profits. I mean, you're starting, but don't run a loss business. I mean, you do everything and you didn't gain anything. That's wrong. That's wrong. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Fantastic.
Questions, I will take questions.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Look, you are the best. Listen, if you've got any more questions, let's take a couple of more questions and then we'll wrap up. Let me see.
But like I was saying, Phrankleen, another one that pays a lot that people can look at is special effects. You know, those pyro and low fog that people do when they are dancing. It pays. So if your brother is disturbing you for money, all those people that are in diaspora, I've told people before, don't be giving people money, give them systems, give them ways to make the money. So if he decides to run his business anyhow, you can even contact me. I would connect you to people that are training in that area. So whether pyro effects, whether cocktail, whether whatever, so that maybe the person you're connecting to them, and they know that it's 3003 that is bringing them. I say, okay, put an eye on this boy, make sure he learns it, because his uncle or his brother or his cousin or his sister insist on that. I can help you do that for free. It's not a problem. But make sure the person is ready to learn. There is money there's money in events. You just need to be ready to present yourself. Something as small as cufflinks, styling. Styling is on board now. So that people that know how to style, we are paying stylists 150, 250, 3. I think there's a stylist that even has 500K package or something like that. Styling, yes.
Just to style what? To style,
so come and tell you, Phrankleen, red looks good on you with a blue cap and a pink shoe. And then they go and they arrange the clothes and arrange your fitting and dress you that day. Yes, we pay them money. See, this industry is endless. There are lots of things. There are lots of areas to make money. So please, even, how would I even say, if you can find a niche that is not so played, something like drinks. There are some people that they do their drinks, they just serve it. But now you will find drinks companies that have guns, how they dispense their drinks with guns, fine guns. They use their drink servers wear helmets with a lot of lights. They do it sort of like a club setting for after party.
Yeah,
that additional touch makes people want to patronize you. That additional touch makes people want to patronize you. Some of them go as far as customizing a particular champagne and giving to the couple. That touch gives you more business than your profits.
I suspect
that thing you did.
I suspect that the competition is fierce, and you have to be ready to grind.
It's you have, and I need to just be honest with you. Event planning is not for the weak. You will cry. I'm not a crier. If not, I would have been crying. I don't really cry that much, but I've seen planners break down in tears, proper tears. Like, you will cry. Sometimes today is your event, decorator. I've had a wedding where, and Phrankleen, this is true life story, my event. Thankfully, the event was winding down. The cooling van guy was supposed to clear for somebody to pass. He was blocking somebody. He entered the cooling van and moved with the drinks. He took off with the drinks. Whatever was left, he took off with it. Real life story. Thankfully, the event has gone to the end, like it was almost over. And it made me remember an event that happened in Benin. It wasn't my event. Somebody told me the story. In fact, I wasn't even in event planning then, a friend's wedding. The drinks, cooling van did not get to the venue. Moved with drinks for 500 people. Every single drink, he took off. That's why cooling van and things have somebody in the van that is for you to escort. These are little things. But you should also know that having good friends is good, because frankly, when those things happen, we just call the groomsmen. That's how we solved the thing that day. Groomsmen entered my car. We went to a supermarket and just shut it down. We took everything from the deep freezer, everything that was drinkable. We literally packed it and said, just take the card and run it. We are running to a wedding that is happening now and has no drinks. There are situations where I heard of a wedding that the food spoiled. Events, imagine if you're the event planner and the food the caterer brought is spoiled. She had to make calls. They had to run to Chicken Republic, shut 3 Chicken Republic down, took all their rice, all their chicken, and ran to the venue. You need to have plan A, B, C, D, E to be in this business. If not, one vendor can mess you up. I've had situations where the videographer his file got corrupted. If you're the event planner, you want to run mad. That wedding has no video. The photographer said his memory card destroyed. You spend over 10, 15 million and you do not have memories. These are true life stories. That's why now I even tell most of my clients that can afford it, I don't like doing one photographer. I do two. You know, let's pay for two. It's the only memory you have. We can't joke with it. You know, those are the areas where you can cry. Then the guests that will literally want to beat you up, of course. Then clients that would insult you. I'm not talking of they will say you're stupid. They will wash you. Be ready for those ones too. It's real. it's not, oh my God, there's mutual respect. There's nothing like mutual respect in events. They will insult you. They will remind you how you do not have money, how they have money. And yes, it happens, but it's fine.
Wow.
You know, it's fine. I always tell my staff, I say, when you enter an event and no matter how much pressure they put on you, always remember that by 7 p.m. is done. Remember that by 7 p.m. is done. Even if we're going to have after party, like by 7 p.m., everything winding down, you know? And when you put this at the back of your mind, you're not somebody that you're so like, will I say vindictive or so to speak. A lot of clients will call me back after events. Oh, sorry that my uncle was really harsh on you.
So
I'm
basically,
sorry,
what you're saying is a diasporan that's coming with their American accent and their British accent, and they don't like to get dirty. They can't. It will be very hard for them to operate within the Nigerian industry. Excuse me, can I ask you?
No, not at all. There are plenty, yo. No, frankly. The truth is they dominate. I just got backs are plenty. In Lagos, everybody has an accent. I'm dragging them today. Lagos, people are ready today. Every vendor in Lagos has one form of accent or the other. And I'm like, okay.
Oh, I see.
I will speak my normal English. I don't have.
We've lost AC again, man. She was just dragging Lagosians. I'll give her a moment. If she doesn't get back with us, we just wrap up from there, man. We call it a day. I think that's our connection, unfortunately. Oh, she's back again.
Sorry. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, man.
MTN, like people should just help us. Like I don't even know what to say at this point. Please just help me. I feel no diasporans. There are lots of people that are in the events business that are diasporans. Like they came back into Nigeria to run different businesses. Some of them have daddy money. There's a lot of money, so don't compare yourself with them. I always tell my friends that it's not everybody that is struggling. No. Some of them have serious money. And another thing is for us as event planners, sometimes, you know, people that come in from diaspora, they have friends that schooled with them, that are comfortable with them. So, of course, you're going to break even. Like, you're going to have so much money. Just be nice. A good accent only goes so far, but be nice, okay? Be somebody that you're relatable. Sometimes they're not relatable. Like, you know that example I said about talking to vendors like you're their guy, you know? Just stop meeting them at their level. They are not that relatable. Because if I'm doing an event versus somebody that is from diaspora, and you're like, oh my God, please remember, you're supposed to come here by 2 and all of that, and you go. And then I come in and I'm like, oh God, John, how you there? My wedding is tomorrow. I need you people to be there. 1 o'clock. They'll be like, Madam, 12 will be there. Do you understand? So different approach. I can speak English. I can kill it in a boardroom. But when it comes to the people that are hands-on, the people that work in the events industry, meet them at their level. If it means speaking pidgin, I speak pidgin very well. Meet them at that level. If it means sitting down with them to eat bole, meet them at that level. Why it is important is because they are the ones working. They will take my job very serious. Anytime they're working for 3,003, they'll be like, is that madam? I want to work there. I want to work there. Even if there are different events, you know, and the decorator is sharing who will go for my events, they'll be like, I want to go for her own. They always relate with us well. You know that kind of feeling. And people like it, you know, the energy you present. It doesn't matter when you say, oh, I'm from this place, I'm from that. No. Treat people well. If you treat them well, you're going to go far. There are many people that are doing fantastically well. They came in from UK, US. Don't feel bad if you're coming from diaspora. You're going to make money. You're going to make money, but just be patient. And also, even if you're coming from diaspora, know that not everybody coming from diaspora is on the same money level. Let
Yeah.
me repeat. You all are not on the same money level. There are some people that are just doing this to pass time. They can't be bothered. I've made meetings with my clients and the person doesn't show up. And you will see her in the evening on Snapchat in a club. She's running a business. And you keep your clients waiting and you show up in a club on Snapchat. That's disrespectful. But note that lady might not be making money from that business. There are many businesses in Lagos that are not profitable. They are just fronts. They are just, let me be busy. So you coming in from diaspora, do not compete with them. They have money. They just want to show that they have a business. Some of them even use it for money laundering, how a way to move. But that's not why we are gathered. Do not compete with them. Run your own lane. Take your own things, but take your clients serious. Simply because you're coming from out of the country doesn't mean you just take people anyhow. I know that outside the country, people come at the right time. Sometimes clients will do African time. Don't shout on them. Calm down. You know, we are the ones that are asking them for money. Most times they are rude. Most times they act up. But the reason I continue to the end is because I know that my balance has been paid. So my accounts, I check it, it's still reading, right? Insult, I will just bait and it's off. I don't need to dwell on that, you know? Don't dwell on that. Just be focused. Events will try you. It will try you. You will need to move. I have done 5 classes. I run master classes where I train event planners. I've done about how many classes?
Oh, hold on.
Finish the class.
Hold on. You run master classes. Talk about that quickly before we go.
Okay, so I run master classes. My next class is going to be coming up very soon. I think with the way in River State right now, halls are still not open, and I really wanted halls to be open. So I'm looking at maybe early January, I'll run the next class because I want it to be super loaded. We do trainings from the beginning to the end. And one thing I've noticed is because in that class, I teach you, yes, event planning, but I also teach you need to have something else. Are you going to have accessories? So I have some of my students that have gone into accessories business, some gone into cocktail, small shops. In addition to events, it's not coming. You know, they have to also do that. So the classes are going to be up. I'll put it on all my social media, Instagram, YouTube. I just need the government to open event centers. I know those of you in UK, Phrankleen, all the event planner friends I have in UK are having a hard time. Having business closed from March is killing. You know,
it's very hard, man.
It's hard. It's
I'll
hard.
be honest with you. I'll be honest with you. It's not even about UK alone. Even in the US, people 9-to-5 jobs, whatever. If you've got anything going on for you right now that's putting money in your pocket, I think you fall under the category of people who are lucky. Right now, the unemployment rate is spiked. People in the UK that are laughing now is if you are in the food industry, whereby the lockdown is not affecting you, you're doing deliveries and stuff.
Delivery,
so
yes.
There's a lot of misconception back home about they think people abroad have it easy. Oh, like the lockdown and even the second lockdown now has absolutely shattered a lot of people's finances. Believe me, it's not a joke.
Exactly.
People are broke. People have lost work, lost business, lost money. Yeah.
Oh, it's really crazy. I think I have a client in UK that has moved her 2 events to Nigeria because Nigeria was which lockdown. We don't have strength. Nobody's locking us anytime soon. We want to go for things have opened up basically in Nigeria. So many people, most of my clients in diaspora that wanted probably to do only trad in Nigeria are moving both events to Nigeria because it doesn't make sense to spend thousands of pounds and you just have 30 guests or you have 20 guests or something very small like that. So it's very tough. I feel most people, most jobs, and the event industry, let me just add, is a multi-billion-dollar industry. It employs a lot of people. So the moment we got hit, drapers got hit, florists got hit, decorators, their staff, the people they buy food from, the people, it was like it messed up a whole circle, a whole line, a whole unit. So many people got seriously affected by this. So I would say that that's the biggest con. But things are picking up in Nigeria, and that's why we are going to do the next phase of business. Because I didn't want to train during the lockdown, because the time is so uncertain. Why will you be doing a master class and there's lockdown? We don't even know
Yeah.
how weddings are going to come back up. Now that we know how weddings are coming back up, the restrictions, I can now do a proper teaching so that you understand where to place. It's going to be online. So those of them that are not in my state or outside Nigeria, you can also learn. It's going to be online. So please, as much as possible, what I want to go out with, like a parting word, no business is easy. Be very honest with yourself if you're going in for the money. If you have younger ones and you want to do this business, please do it. Something can be motivating you. I had younger ones. That was my biggest motivation. I went to all the big schools. My parents were not going to take care of my younger one for me. I mean, you know how Nigerian family is. If you're the one that they spent all the money on, just know that your younger ones are your children.
The connection is really bad, man. MTN, why are you doing us with this? The connection is really, really bad. Anyway, let's wrap up on this note. It's been a wonderful session. Asy's connection is really bad, and that's from our MTN connection. It's a wonderful session. I appreciate all our contributions. I might be able to bring her back again. I'll talk to her later on. Thank you, everyone who's watched. I appreciate you. Thank you for your contributions. It's your boy, Phrankleen. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to share the video. I'm having a major problem with YouTube. I don't know, they're messing with my account. I'm dealing with them in the background. I don't know what's going on, but there's somebody, a rogue employee within YouTube that's messing with my channel. So they're tampering with my views. They're tampering with some of my videos where we talk about oppression of black folks. It's like they don't like to hear stuff like that on this platform. They are tampering with the channel, but it's all good, man. We keep the energy going. Thank you. Smash the like button, smash the subscribe button. If you want to support the channel, thank you for the super chat. You can do so via Cash App. It's at the bottom of the screen, # Phrankleen, or paypal.me/I'm peculiar. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with me. And I would definitely catch you in the next one, man.